Hey Thomas, how you doing, man? What can I help you with?
He's doing good so
Let me see. I believe they only offer 4 payments.
Okay, that's enough.
Would that be coverage on the building itself, or would that be like premises liability? Yes, ma'am. You have a good one. Bye-bye. That's how you get a new carrier. What time do you think it's going to rain?
In the next 20 minutes.
In the next 20 minutes?
Yep.
Really?
Rain pool.
I was gonna say
What you want?
225.
225?
That's what I was gonna say.
Did he just $1 you?
I did.
Did you know, fact, that it rains an average of 66 inches a year in Mobile and in Saraland? Saraland actually rains more than Mobile.
Mobile's the rainiest city in the U.S.
So does that make, here it is. Saraland has a chance to really swing in and capitalize on this. If they actually tracked it, they could be the rainiest city in the U.S. and steal something from Mobile that Mobile values very much. Meet someone from Mobile, they'll tell you 2 things. They invented Mardi Gras and it's the rainiest city. Saraland could straight up just steal some thunder right now.
All right. Show him what you just showed me.
Hey Google, what's the protection class for Gulf Shores, Alabama?
On the website gulfshores.gov, they say, the city of Gulf Shores received an upgraded ISO Public Protection Classification grade of 1. Do you want a little more context?
No thank you. Right? It's still listed as a 2 in Occidental, so I'd like to argue with
Occidental.
Occidental.
Yeah, that's very well known that Gulf Shores is a 1. That's awesome. Good job. The podcast, like Johnny is like a creative and design hero of mine, was before I knew him. When I first pitched him on my podcast, I was like, he's gonna think this is the most uncool thing he's ever heard, you know. And I was like, man, like I've got this like idea for this insurance podcast, or my buddy has this idea for an insurance podcast, and he was like, oh, I got all kind of people, dude. He's like, I got a lawyer podcast, I got a fishing podcast. I was like, well, insurance is not as sexy as those 2 things, but at least I know you're thinking in the right direction. So the reason I wanted to film that is to show everybody that I drink my own Kool-Aid. That was, I've said over and over and over, as you've heard and as a lot of people have heard, one of the best ad spins that any business can do is to find a podcast that has an audience of people that fit the demographic of people that you are going after, and buy ad space on that podcast. Like literally, other than starting the podcast yourself, there is no better way. This was a podcast in the fishing industry. We do boat insurance, and boats a lot of times are a great lead generation tool because you get the boat. Typically people with boats, especially nice boats, have a nice house, they have nice cars, might have a second home at the beach to use the boat. So the boat can be a really good lead generation tool for a lot of different things. And so that was a fishing podcast that there was an opportunity to come on as a sponsor. So what I normally do, I'm doing the opposite of that. I'm actually buying ad space, and I'm gonna do it. I gotta make them earn it a little bit, but I'm gonna do it. And so just to kind of prove to everybody that I drink the Kool-Aid that I talk about. So now and then I get like an insane, crazy idea, because like it takes a lot to like get my wheels turning. Ideas like, let's get Gary on our podcast, things like that, things that seem just so out of reach,
Absolutely.
So I got an idea last night. I was about a glass and a half of wine in, and I got this like crazy stupid idea that I think we could pull off, but I wanted to get your thoughts on it. What do you think about us using our various channels to him and pitching like a virtual 1-day? I think we could just absolutely crush it. And like the thing is, like even if they say no, like the benefit of just asking. You know what I mean? Like, what are your thoughts on that idea? Announcing making the donuts, which is kind of cool. We're excited about that. I'm super happy with the first episode. You know, I really think that bringing your audience, your customers, your prospects, your followers, whatever, along for your journey, so to speak, is super important. I think if people, you know, kind of know maybe just a little bit that goes on behind the scenes, they can develop an emotional connection to your business, which is gonna lead to higher ROI. It's gonna lead to higher closing ratios, more people reaching out to you. I think there's a lot of companies out there that because people know the backstory to them, they are more likely to do business with them, or the reason they do business with them is because they know the backstory. So this is a one-off of the Insurance Guys podcast. As a lot of you know, Scott and I, or maybe not know, Scott and I batch record all our podcasts. So essentially what we would do is we would line up 6 to 8 shows in 2 days, and we would record all those podcasts. We've started, now that we're doing a little bit through Zoom, we started doing one-offs for certain people whose schedules are too busy to do it on that day. So that's what this is. We've actually got 2 back-to-back. The first one is with Dave Meltzer, who is a really, really good friend of Gary Vaynerchuk's. That's kind of how I've gotten to know who he is, and along with my buddy Scott Tyndall. He's a real good friend of Scott Tyndall's. They've done a lot of jamming together, and we wanted to do a podcast. Dave started Sports One Marketing, and is, I think, the inspiration for the character Jerry Maguire.
Bad decision here. And then I started looking back in my life going, gosh, my mom had the best intention, but you know, I still tell her today, I go, she's giving me some really bad advice. And so I think if everyone looks back and connects the dots backwards, they'll find their friends and family in the best interest and best intention of security, of painlessness, of resistancelessness, have given us really, really bad advice. So you got to learn at a young age, vote for what you want. You know, take your parents and family's advice like a handful of sand. Say thank you. Always be grateful that someone cares enough to give you the advice, but let it fall through your hand like a handful of sand. And
hey, Dave, a lot in business to the game of golf, and whenever you start playing golf, everybody and their brother wants to give you advice, and then it just gets jumbled up in your head, and you get a worse outcome than what you're trying to achieve. And I had a buddy that I used to play golf with that used to say, I don't take swing advice from people that can't beat me. For those of you watching that, I was taking notes. I was not texting. If you've watched some of the podcast videos, I very rarely take notes. So just to tell you what I thought of that. Do you have LinkedIn? No, you don't have LinkedIn? So when you have LinkedIn, young man, you get these like crazy, insane, like auto messages, like auto DMs, like crazy. And some of these guys and girls are getting really, really, really good. I had one the other day that like this guy messaged me, and eventually I was like, okay, this isn't an autoresponder. This guy's like trying to get in, trying to like get a call with me. So I get on the call and he's got no idea who I am because it's just auto. He's doing that to thousands of people. So a hack is, can you see that in front of my name?
Yeah.
Put an emoji in front of your name. Michael McCormick did this, and Zach Gould did it as well. Put an emoji in front of your name. That way, when the auto message comes through, and you know if it's grabbed it. So this is a podcast with the legend Frank Setner. This was we were supposed to get this a couple weeks ago. We did the longer session, but we had to cancel. So the amount of time that it takes for me to reconcile my commissions for a carrier that downloads commissions versus a carrier that don't downloads is about 2 hours per carrier. And
for the carrier that doesn't download.
correct.
Mr. Bradley Flowers.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing good, brother. How you doing?
I am good. Just getting the day started and getting ready to tackle everything I have to do. So, hey, sorry we keep missing each other. I just wanted to kind of send you a message. So, it may not be a terrible idea, especially since our policy is so much better than the one you have now, for you guys to go ahead and swap and not wait until renewal. our policy saves you several $1,000s a year, so you're gonna make it up, or you're gonna save some money. And then also, you guys don't have wind coverage on your policy right now. We're in the middle of hurricane season. We just had 2 out in the Gulf. It may not be a bad thing to go ahead and do, but we can wait. Completely up to you. That's just kind of what I wanted to run by you, is that we can go ahead and do this if you guys want to. So we got a couple minutes here between the day. So what I'm going to do is reach out to some lenders and realtors, potential referral partners and current referral partners and fringe referral partners to try and help our relationship. Today, man, really enjoyed it. It's refreshing to have a realtor talk about the insurance side of things. If you ever need anything, hit me up. Let's try to grab a coffee or something soon. Appreciate it. And notice how when I sent that, I made sure that he knew it was for him. There's so much automated bulk messages that are meant for 50 different people, that when you do send one to somebody, you want to make sure that they don't think that you're doing that. Really hearing a lot of good things about you as a mortgage lender. Every time your name comes up, it's in a positive light. Hope the new business is going good. Let's grab lunch or something real soon. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Thanks. I was just scrolling across Messenger, Brandon, and I saw I saw a message on here from you from a while back. I just want to reach out and tell you I appreciate your business. Keep doing what you're doing. A lot of people think that technology replaces the human element, but this right here, these video messages, giving people genuine compliments, and referencing things on their profiles and things like that, it's almost more personal than it would be in person. You know what I mean? Because I'm taking the time out of the day, I'm giving them a video message. I don't know. Let's get together soon when all this craziness is over. Hope you guys are doing well. So just got a message back.
Hey man, thanks for reaching out today. It has been an awesome time in the real estate world in Birmingham, Alabama. I've got 9 closings.
Grant's not here today, so for the sake of documenting, we're about to do a podcast with the CEO of Neptune Flood. For launching this product into the marketplace in terms of the agent channel and things like that, what was that process like? How did you guys go from being a brand new carrier to getting in agents' offices, getting in front of people and selling policies?